My name is Bim. So we got our hands on the Tekken 8 closed network test, and I kind of wanted to go through the things I noticed about King that I thought were particularly cool. This is like new moves and some of his new properties. All right, pitch. First thing I noticed, at least this is true for the beta, is that analog stick buttons, but you can't do that, at least in the beta. So L3 brings up like help, R3 just does nothing. Okay, so let's check out. First of all, his backdash was nerfed. I don't do a clean backdash, but the way he does the backdash, it's not as good as it was in Tekken 7. So everyone has a new heat system, right? So by default, it's R1, but since I have that mapped to something, mine it's R2 because it's 2-3. The heat burst, it's called heat burst. So this is heat burst. Heat burst, heat smash, and this power bomb does a nice bit of damage. This is one of his new moves. It's armor. From armor, you have two. It's like a stance, right? So there's this, which goes into burst, and then you also have this run, which does the run is a whole separate stance. This is for when you anticipate an incoming hit, you take one. It's like a power crush. You take one hit of, or not one hit, but you tank all mids and highs. It's susceptible to lows. So I think one of the reasons why backdash was a bit nerfed for King, I think it was a conscious design decision where he is still kind of defensive in a way, but it's going to be more with armor than movement because he's got so many armored moves. So there's this, and then this, that's armored. If you hit, it goes into run. I can't set the dummy to block. Can I set the dummy to block? Okay. So on block, you don't go into the run. You can hold back to not go into the dash. But yeah, that has armor. When you go... okay, before we talk about the dash, let's talk about the other ways to engage heat. So there's this move. That engages heat. This is the shoulder tackle from before. Okay. One of the main differences is that it no longer has armor. See? No armor. The armor from this move went to back 3. This is power crush. You can still do the leg drop guillotine. Forward 2-1, which is also one of his heat engagers. And I think both are cool because both are kind of good for whiff punishing. Whiff punish. Whiff punish, and you go into your heat dash. That leads to all sorts of mix-ups. Okay, so he also has this new. So 4-4-2 has been changed. It's still mid, but now there's no follow-up. I don't know if this can. I don't know if it's. It has any. I mean, it looks like he does a little hop, but I don't know if this can actually low crush. I don't think so. It does chip damage on block. But what's important is it leaves the opponent in a crouch state, which means this is all but guaranteed because if you're fast enough, all of his crouching throws are unbreakable. None of his throws from crouching are breakable, which is insane. Which makes this crazy because you could go into that, you could go into this, you could go into this later, right? Or if opponent ducks, yeah, but even from here, your main mix-ups would be throw. If they decide to take the throw, they're gonna take a guess. If they decide to duck, then they risk getting crouch throwed. There's this. 4-4-1 also changed. in terms of being able to combo from it. So I don't know if I've just changed the timing or anything, but I just can't do it. So I don't think it works anymore. Doesn't hit as low, but you can still use it in combos. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. Anyway, that's the combo. What else are his new moves? Okay, so let's talk about the Jaguar run. So there are, I think, 5 options from the run. There's this. It's a high lariat, which leaves you in plus when blocked. There's this, which is the mid. When you're not in heat, this just kind of throws them off. This is great. This kick is great. That Jaguar dash, Jaguar run 3 is great because I forgot what it's called. Because it tracks. It's tracking. It's safe, and it's mid. So the bigger threat during this dash is the RKO, the Rapid King Onslaught. Because it does a ton of damage, and it's unbreakable. Although you can duck this on reaction because he makes this wide arm, see? It's quite obvious, so you can duck it on reaction. But then there's this low, there's this, and there's this. Another mid option, which is kind of safe. It leaves you on the ground with block. The Face Buster, the Pedigree, engages heat. When you're in heat state, the Jaguar dash, so let's go into heat state. The Jaguar dash, Jaguar run, what the heck do you call it? Jaguar dash? Jaguar sprint. It takes power crush properties. So you can tank hits, which are during the run when you're in heat. Actually, something about the heat smash. So there's a screen freeze, so you kind of get really good like frame advantage. This thing is fantastic for whiff punishing. It's fantastic for whiff punishing. Even if they whiff let's say a jab from this distance, you're gonna get him. Oh, let's talk about replenishing your heat. So let's say you're in heat. There are ways to replenish that meter. One is the giant swing. You see the meter stops, and then when you hit the giant swing, also the Tijuana Twister replenishes your dash. Also your Shining Wizard, not your dash, replenishes your heat. And also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Face Buster, the Pedigree, yeah. There are probably some few more moves that replenish the type. It's not familiar. Let's talk about the bound moves. So for combos, his new bound moves are, so this no longer works. This no longer works, and I kept doing it. So his new bound moves are throw, alright, back 2-1 bounds, back 3 bounds, forward 4 bounds. And I think if you're trying to get as much damage as possible with a launch with King, I think it's forward 4 is your best bound. There's a lot of pushback, a lot of corner carry. This is good too. It's back 3 is a lot more consistent than forward 4. Forward 4 has less range than back 3. What else are his? Weirdly enough, this is also a bound. So if you hit them once, you can hit them again. It's a bound. Not the best way to use your launch, but okay. So if forward 4 and back 3 are the best bound moves, and maybe back to 1, why does the throw exist? Why does this bound? Well, for one thing, it's easy to do, and it leaves the opponent fairly close to you. But why is that important? Because in Tekken 8, King has perfect throws like an electric, blue spark. So he has 3 that I've seen so far. One is the Shining Wizard. See the blue spark? It gives you extra 5 damage. This is a regular Shining Wizard. Gives you 40. Oh, by the way, run in this game is so easy to do. In Tekken 7, it took me years to get this jab into Shining Wizard thing down. I can't really even pull it off in matches too much. It's super easy in Tekken 8. And if you do it perfectly, then you get that blue spark. From what I can tell, is if you look at the annotation here, from the first forward to the second forward, if there is 6 frames or less in between the first forward and the second forward, and you press the last forward with at the same time the same, more or less the same frame as your 2+4, then you get the blue spark. The other one is Giant Swing. So I don't know how many frames exactly you need to do the Giant Swing to get the blue sparks out. It takes quite a bit of practice, but it has to be like under a certain number of frames, and the last word has to be at the same time as. There you go. The Tijuana Twister actually, I find it's a little more forgiving. It's easier to get the blue sparks out of this. Anyway, each throw gives you an extra 5 damage. The regular one, I think that does 50. Yeah, that does 50. The blue spark one gives 55. Okay, so because these exist... Oh, by the way, when you're in heat state, all your Giant Swings and Tijuana Twisters and your Shining Wizards become blue spark automatically when in heat. Sort of like with Kazuya and his electrics. Okay, so why is that important, especially in combos? So you can go for, let's say, something like this. Now, because you're running too far, the power bomb from that position, it's really hard to get like a blue spark, a perfect wizard, perfect power bomb, which will henceforth be known as the perfect wizard. Perfect wizard, perfect swing, and perfect twister. But if you do something like this, oops, or rather something like this, don't buffer it. I buffered it. Hard to see. It's hard to do. 7 fudge. Yeah, it takes some practice. Seven frames. There you go, Jesus. You get 65 damage. Not a lot. It's probably not the best use, but I wonder if I could get perfect from that. You can, but it doesn't reach. But yeah, so see, there's a bit more. Oh, actually, I think this gives you 65. Yeah, Scott gives you 65. Just fewer hits gives you 65. Yeah, bump. Oh, there are some animation updates. So the animation for the figure 4, the old figure 4 from Tekken 7, is that he kind of grabs the opponent's legs, pushes forward with his shoulders, and the opponent kind of falls over. With 8, god damn it, let's do it again. With 8, there's a bit of a mini spine buster, which I really like. And then he puts his foot around. Crack. That looks good. I haven't seen the counter, because it can still be countered, where you King and his opponent take the same amount of damage. I haven't seen that done yet to me. What else? Oh, this has new animation too. Looks cool. And I really like this because one of the things that made Armor King better than King in Tekken 7 is how he was way more visually interesting. And now King has a lot of visual flair as well. Okay. So launchers. Launchers would be full crouch forward 2. That's the thing. Back to 1 is still a launcher, but it has to be counter hit. And you have to... No. Okay, it always has been counter hit. But back 1 won't launch. It's back to 1 now. And it has to be perfect counter hit. See? That will give you 61. I wonder. No. Doesn't work. What? Oh. Even on counter hit, this will give you nothing. This is what it looks like on... I mean, you're plus, right? You're plus. It's a low hitting plus on hit move. But on counter hit, yeah, you get nothing. Maybe an attempt, I don't know. This still gives you something. See, run is so easy that dash up forward 3 becomes Jaguar knee. Oh, it doesn't bound anymore. What the fuck? Ooh, perfect. Yeah, perfect gives you 63. Then you've got the uppercut, you've got the Atlas Hammer, of course hop kick. What else launches? Oh yeah, this. That's still there. Oh, that's no. What else launches? Oh yeah, I've actually been using this a lot. So I don't know what the most optimized combos are yet, but yeah, these are what I've been using. Yeah, he still has these. He still has that. Still has this. Still has the old cutter from before, the neck breaker. He still has this. Oh, forgot to talk about it. This is unbreakable. So if you press back one plus 2, it will go into, if you hit it and it's unbreakable, it goes into run immediately. And if you press back 1 2 again, it goes in the same direction. Anything else goes into the opposite direction. 3 plus 4, 1 plus 3. See? Opposite direction. Then again, yeah, but you don't have armor unless you have heat. You don't have armor. Yeah, this is very advantageous for King because it's a side switch. Plus, yeah, you could go into this. You could go into clothesline, this, and again the RKO. RKO was unbreakable, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Oh, he still has the Jaguar things. These are all back. This is the guillotine drop. This thing. The command was changed to up forward 1 plus 2. This was changed to up 1 plus 2, which is, I find it weird, especially because just like the motion, the King's actual physical motion, it feels like this should be up forward 1 plus 2. I don't know why they changed it. This thing still has properties where you could side switch. The unblockable still there. I haven't found any setups for it yet. There should be over time. Still goes into clothesline. His ground throws are all still there. All chain throws are still there. Oh, the animation for down forward 1 2 has been changed. I think it looks better. It's still minus 10 on hit, on block. Sorry. Yeah, I think all in all, King's best offensive tool is the run after the dash, right? Because the mix-up from this is crazy. This thing's cool too. Once you get the timing down, guaranteed attempt. This is cool too. Yeah, this is a round ender, this thing. Bonk. Oh, this thing doesn't knock down, by the way. Even on counter hit, I think it doesn't knock down. See? So there's not much you could do after. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. I think King is strong. I think all the cast is pretty good. But yeah, King's dash from heat engage is really is terrifying to be on the receiving end. I feel like throw breaks have been nerfed a little bit. Like I've been having trouble breaking throws, probably because there's so much going on screen. Like look at all these particle effects. Do you see which hands he was using? So hard to see. Oh, you can do that from mid for a mid option as well. Which hands, right? You could even do this, which is kind of as a true mix-up with that, because you can't tell. Yeah, that's it. Those are his nice tools.